Hi everyone. Today we learn how to migrate a Base44 app to our local system and run it on local system so that you have no dependency on Base44. So let's select a project. For example, I have selected this particular project and I want to deploy this on local system. What I'll do is I have a paid subscription on Base44. So I will export the project as zip file first. So it is downloaded. Next, I'll extract the zip file and I'll try to run it using the traditional npm commands, which is npm install. I'll open a terminal and type npm install. Because this is a React plus white project front in the front end. Yeah, I have installed the node packages. Now I'll do something like npm run dev, which if everything is fine, the app will start running. So now if you see, the app gives an error. It says white wait for base URL not set. What I'll do is I'll share this URL with you. It's a migration script for self-hosting Base44 apps. I'll share this link with you so that you guys also can use the same to install the dependencies, etc. So first we'll install the Superbase database migrator, and then we'll install the .env as well as vi test framework. Then you need to clone this particular repository and you need to copy the source library, Superbase client and custom SDK.js as well as Base44 client.js. These directories you need to copy and paste into the current project. So I have it already with me here in this directory. So what I'll do is I'll copy these API and live.js. I'll copy these, come back, and I'll just paste it in this directory. Sorry, I'll just paste it in this directory. I'll merge the files. I'll now run it npm rundev, and it still says base URL not set. So what I'll do is I'll create a .env file. I'll say touch.env, and I'll set white44 base44 base URL is equal to, I'll say localhost 5173. I'll test whether if it's working. As you can see, the project is working. However, the database is not working. As you can see, the project is working perfectly fine. The UI, UX, etc. is imported. However, if I inspect and if I see the console, if I see the network tab and refresh this page, as you can see, the database is still not imported. So what I'll do is I'll go back to base44 and I'll copy this particular command, which is I need to export from base44 so that I can import to Superbase. I'll copy the entire thing and I will paste it here. I need to export all my application data in a format I can easily import into Superbase. Please provide the data in the following format. Export format requirements. Provide data as SQL insert statements compatible with Postgres. Include proper UUID generation for primary keys. Use ISO 8601 format for all timestamps. Escape all text properly for SQL insertion. Improves foreign relationship correctly. Please add this export functionality in a new page. For this, I'll submit this now. Meanwhile, I'll go and create a account in Superbase. So I'm signed into Superbase. I'll create a new project, call it PMP demo. I'll check if Superbase, I'll check if Base44 has created the database schema for me to export. It has not yet generated. I'll wait for the generation as well as I'll wait for the Superbase to get completed. Now if I go back to the self-hosting guide, as you can see, I need to create these things in env file. So I'll go ahead and open the env file and I'll copy paste these things so that I can copy this and I can then export. So as you can see, the copy and download Superbase export button is implemented. So I'll go here and I'll generate the SQL file. I'll download the SQL file. I'll copy this SQL file. I'll open this. Okay. So these are the SQL commands to import the database. So I'll go to the Superbase and I'll go to SQL editor and I'll paste the query here and I'll click on run. As you can see, all the data has been imported. It shows success. I'll go back to table editor now. As you can see, all the tables, required tables and some of the data have been imported. Now the challenge is to connect to this database. So what I'll do is I'll go to project overview. I'll go to project settings in Superbase. I'll go to API keys. I'll go to legacy unknown keys and I'll copy this anonymous key. I'll go to the env file and I'll paste this anonymous key. Similarly, I'll copy this service role key. So I have set up the project. Now I need to copy the project settings. I'll go to general and I'll copy the project ID, or better I'll go to the home and I'll copy this project URL. So now if I refresh the page in Base44 in the local, and I go to network tab and I refresh. As you can see, project, it says some error, which is perhaps you meant projects in the could not find the table project in the schema cache. So sometimes what happens is the table name is not imported properly. In that case, I'll change the project name here in the Superbase. I'll rename this table. I'll say edit table and I'll rename it as project. Save. Now if I refresh, yeah, this is again a bug with Superbase, which is there are two uh, rows or columns in the Superbase table which you need to change, which is created date and created at column. So I'll say created at, save. Instead of created date, I'll rename it as created date. And similarly, the updated date, I'll rename it as updated at, save. So now if I refresh the local host, as you can see, the test project we have is imported. Now the same has happened for feature, checklist, change, request and milestone. So as you can see, features, it needs to be changed to feature. So everything is in plural. However, I need to change it to singular and I need to make the tables, rename the created at and updated tables. So I'll edit this table and I'll rename it as milestone. Save. I will go to created at date to I'll make it created at. Similarly, I'll make updated date. I'll change it to updated at. Similarly, features I'll change it to feature. Save. And I'll change updated at and created at as the instead of created at date and updated date. Edit updated at. Now I have deliverables. I'll change it to deliverable. So these are just minute changes when you have to migrate from base 44 to local. This is not so much pain when compared to the extensive support which base 44 gives to for you to wipe code a project. I'll edit this column and I'll write updated at. So again, you can use the Superbase cloud or you can also use the Superbase local for your use cases. Checklist item, save. Again, as you can see, checklist item has a lot of data. So we'll see if it is getting updated properly. This will be updated at. This will be created at. This table we need to rename it as change request. Edit table change request. So as you can see, all the schema has been imported properly. So you need not change any of the schema because it will be imported properly from base 44. I'll just change these two columns which is created at and updated at. So I have modified all the tables. Now if I go back and I refresh this app, as you can see, all the tables are getting imported properly. So I can test this app as well. For example, I can edit project. I can go to the calculator. I can go to the checklist. As you can see, all the data has been imported properly. So this applies whatever the number of database tables you have. This will work and you can easily use this. Now the next part of this is you can deploy it to a cloud server from localhost to any cloud server of your choice. That's a lesson for another day. Um, I hope you found this session or lecture useful of how to migrate from a Base 44 cloud project to a Base 44 local project. Thank you.